New Year and welcome to Unews for Thursday, January 2nd. I'm Lorraine Caceres. We begin this hour with President Trump, the commander-in-chief, ending his year in political turmoil with his impeachment and starting 2020 with two foreign crises, North Korea threatening to resume nuclear testing and the embassy in Iraq attacked. Here is a recap of the new challenges the president is facing. Hundreds of troops have been deployed to Iraq, hundreds more standing by, and this increasing tensions as pro-Iranian elements in Iraq continue to demand the removal of American forces overall. With the Senate trial looming for President Trump following his impeachment in the House of Representatives, Senator Susan Collins says she is open to witnesses during the upcoming trial. And major 2020 news to report. Julian Castro has dropped out of the Democratic presidential race. The former Housing and Urban Development Secretary was the only Latino running for the White House. Janet Rodriguez joins me from Washington, D.C. Janet, Castro had really been struggling with fundraising during this last quarter, right?
He had. In fact, in October, he sent out an email saying that he needed to raise $800,000 or he would have to drop out of the race. He was not part of the last two Democratic debates, so we know that he had been struggling not only with money, but trying to capture popularity and reach
Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, with just 1 month before the Iowa caucus, Democratic candidates are ramping up their 2020 efforts to reach voters, announcing their new fundraising numbers, highlighting the issues that are important to them, and weighing in on the impeachment trial. Here's Carolina Sarasa with more. Speaking of Bernie Sanders, in addition to a $34.5 million haul in the fourth quarter of 2019, the Vermont senator announced on Wednesday that his campaign had now received more than 5 million individual campaign contributions, something no other presidential contender has received at this stage in the race. President Trump's re-election campaign said on Thursday that it raked in $46 million in the fourth quarter of 2019 amid House Democrats' impeachment proceedings. The Trump administration may ban the sale of flavored e-cigarette cartridges. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, another major story we continue to track. A community is still reeling after a gruesome and deadly attack during a Hanukkah celebration in New York. This as an eyewitness spoke about what he saw during the tragedy. Rafael Rodriguez has the latest. And we have much more news ahead, including a controversial. A new ICE sting tactic has many pro-immigrant groups outraged. ICE setting up a fake university to recruit undocumented students to later deport them. Pablo Gato has the story. Now that it's a new year, a number of new laws going into effect in states around the country. In Florida, drivers have been warned about the new law banning texting while driving. Now, the subway is set to become a lot more affordable in the Big Apple for those with limited means. With the arrival of the new year, reduced subway fares will be available for low-income New Yorkers. Peggy Carranza has the details from the Bronx.
Advocates estimate that 800,000 low-income New Yorkers will be able to access the program. In New York City, Peggy Carranza, Unews.
Recreational marijuana is now legal in Illinois as the state joins 10 other states and Washington, D.C., where the industry no longer has to operate in the dark. If the lines on day one are any indication as how this is going to go, finding customers won't be a problem for local businesses. David Romo has more. On to another major story today. Sports fans around the world are mourning the death of David Stern, who with fierce intelligence and unparalleled vision brought profound sweeping changes to professional basketball during his 3-decade reign as NBA commissioner, turning the league into a money-making machine. Azul Alvarez has more on Stern's life and legacy. When we come back, a kidnapping attempt ends in an arrest. A dramatic body camera video out of Alabama shows the rescue of a kidnapping victim and the arrest of the suspect accused of taking her. Brookside police, an apparent assault in Las Vegas is caught on a doorbell camera, and we have now to another shocking moment caught on a doorbell camera. A California man visiting Arizona for the Fiesta Bowl was caught on a homeowner's Ring camera begging for help. He was carjacked and shot after the game. Ricardo Arrambari has the story. were able to remove the bullet which was lodged in Anthony's abdomen. He'll be in the hospital for several days. A tragic start to the new year for a woman in Michigan. That homeowner losing her house on New Year's Eve thanks to an eroding coastline. Her entire house in Detroit are investigating a photo posted on social media. The image shows city firefighters posing in front of a house that's engulfed in flames. And as Paola Byron explains, a lot of people aren't too happy about it. Next, a brutal Christmas for some migrants. Law enforcement officers in the U.S. are warning residents to be cautious when traveling into Nuevo Laredo after recent outbursts of violence that could be heard on the American side of the border. Authorities are advising residents to avoid crossing into Mexico altogether. According to reports, an intense shootout between the Tamaulipas State Police and drug cartel members took place over several hours. Gunmen there were reportedly using high-powered rifles and even explosives. Elsewhere in Mexico, at least 16 inmates were killed and 5 others injured after a prison riot on Tuesday. Mexican authorities up on Univision News, an important food war. Now, if getting fit is one of your 2020 resolutions, January is the best time to save on a gym membership. That's because health clubs are offering promotions and deals to win over the New Year's resolution crowd. Kelia Tejada has tips on how to save on fitness centers, studios, and classes. And time now to check in with Carolina Sarasa. She has a preview of what's coming up during the second hour of News. Caro, Happy New Year. What's new?
Happy New Year, Lorraine, and a lot more info coming up in minutes. We have the latest on the growing wildfires in Australia. A state of emergency now being declared in that country as thousands escape the flames. We'll also tell you about a blackface controversy in Philadelphia. A group of parade marchers kicked out of a major event. We have details. And a terrifying moment after a young boy swallowed one of his AirPods. We have details on what happened next. Back to you, Lorraine. And by the way, Happy New Year from all of us here at Unews. Back to you.
Thank you, Caro. We'll be waiting for you. But first, don't know how to. Christmas is over, and it's time to start thinking about taking down that tree, something I dread. But before you do anything, you may want to consider donating it. Marithi Marungi shows us how one person's trash is another goat's treasure. So cute. I had no idea goats like Christmas trees, but finally today, fashion maven Stacey London revealed Tuesday she's in love with a woman. Before to her and her new relationship. That's all the time we have for the first hour of News. I'm Lorraine Caceres. Thank you for tuning in, but stay tuned for the second hour. Carolina Sarasa has much more coming up. Thanks for watching.